क्या आप IAS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेन ड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप IAS की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें StudyIQ.com।
Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. So in this session, we'll be discussing or we'll be starting with data interpretation. So you can take 2-3 minutes and try to solve this question, okay? So I'm just starting with the elementary level data interpretation, then we will move on to the higher level, okay? So this is what we call as level 1 difficulty. So I'll be starting with this and you can go ahead after 1 or 2 sessions, okay? So take 2 minutes and solve these questions. Okay friends, so I hope you understood the question and you solved this question. Very easy question, okay? There is nothing more to discuss in this, but anyway, let's see how you're going to proceed, okay? So what they're saying is a special fast track court was established for a period of 1 week, okay? Now that 1 week detail is given here, okay? Now for the speedy disposal of the case, obviously the shortest time in which the case can be disposed of by the fast track court after it is registered is 1 day. So the shortest time taken for the disposal of a case is 1 day. So if today a case is registered, that means today itself you cannot dispose of. The minimum time period is taken is 1 day. So obviously the case will be registered at the minimum possible time is tomorrow. It can take next day also, it may take another day also, it may take some other day also, it may not resolve in 7 days also, and it will be referred back to the normal court. That is what we are going to see here, okay? So the following table given the number of cases registered and the number of cases disposed of by the court in the 7-day period. Obviously you got it. The number of cases disposed of on day 7 is not available, okay? So this is not given. And cases which are not disposed of by the end of the 7-day period are referred back to the regular courts, okay? So that's what we have discussed. So 7-day special court detail is what they have given. The cases registered and the cases resolved. We don't know how many cases resolved on the 7th day. We don't have the data, okay? And similarly, what they are saying is if the cases are not resolved in this speedy trial in this court, it is referred to the normal court, okay? So obviously, if you can add this and if you can add this, rest of the cases will be, without knowing this, you can say this many cases are pending, out of which some of the cases might have resolved on day 7. After that, if day 7, if it is given, we can clearly say how many cases will be referred back to the normal courts. So here, day 7 is not given, so that also will be slightly difficult for you. In fact, you cannot determine how many cases were referred back to the normal courts. I hope you understood, because total registered cases are known to you. Number of cases resolved till 6th day is known to you, right? And what they are saying is, if the cases are not resolved here, it will be referred back to the normal court. So we don't know the number of cases which are resolved on day 7. If we know that, you can subtract that and rest of the cases will be referred back to the normal court. But since we don't know 7th day how many cases, we don't know how many cases are referred to the normal court also, okay? So I hope this point is clear. Now whether it is required to solve the question or not, that is what we need to see. That may not be required, or that may be a question in itself, okay? So let's look into the questions. Okay, at least what percentage of the cases registered with the fast track court were disposed of? At least what percentage? So here the word is at least. So minimum, what percentage of the cases were disposed of? So what we need to know is, we need to know the total number, because this is related to percentage, okay? So we need to know the total number of cases which are registered. So what you can do is you can add up 461, 328 and 156. What you'll get 1500, right? So total number of cases registered are 1500. Now even if you assume that no cases were resolved on day 7, no cases were resolved on day 7, how many cases were resolved in total? You can add all this and you'll get 813. So if you make an assumption that no cases were resolved on day 7, but still you were able to resolve 813 cases till then, so at least what percentage means minimum 813 cases we solved, right? We don't know about this. We are taking that as 0 because we need to find the minimum number of cases which are solved, right? Minimum this, maximum can be more, it depends on this. how many cases were resolved on this particular day. That is what the maximum. Now, what can be that maximum value? 1500 minus 813, because rest of the complete cases is resolved on this day, means that can be the maximum value. Maximum is going to be 1500. Okay, minimum is 813. So at least what percentage means? Your answer is going to be 813 by 1500, and what you get? You get 54.2. So this is your answer. Answer for this question is B for Bombay. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is a keyword at least. So you can make an assumption that on the last day no cases were resolved. So total 813. So percentage means 813 divided by total into 100. So see, since these options are of same number of digits, into 100 or divided by 100 is not important for you. Okay, see, rather than into 100 you can even do this also. You can take off this 2 zeros. Okay, so 813 by 15. So 813 by 15 will give you 54.5. Now moving on to the next question. If you look at the words here, they are saying at most, right? So here the keyword is at most. At most, how many cases registered on day 3 were disposed of in the shortest possible time? So day 3, 156, right? So at most, how many cases registered on day 3 were disposed of in the shortest possible time? See, if I register a case today, what they are saying is the shortest possible time in which this case can be resolved is 1 day. So if I register a case today, tomorrow is the shortest time period in which I can resolve the case. Okay, so if day 3 156 cases were registered, means the shortest time period in which this case can be resolved is day 4. So now let's look into day 4, how many cases were resolved? 107. Now since the question is at most, what you can do is you can take an assumption that all the cases which were resolved on day 4 were registered on day 3. So out of 156 cases which were registered on day 3, 107 was resolved. That is a maximum which is possible, right? But now if you think practically, this 107 may contain cases from here also. But what we are looking is we need to maximize. We need to maximize this 107 from this 156. Okay, so we need to see the possible answer, right? Maximum possible number is what we need to get, and that is going to be 107. See, if let's suppose this is going to be 170, okay, then we will have to write 156 as your answer, because this 170, if you try to maximize, 156 will come from this and 14 maybe from the previous day. If you resolve 170 cases on this particular day, day 4, right? But here, since only 107, which is less than number of cases which were registered on day 3, we will take those complete cases which were resolved as the cases from day 3. So your answer is going to be C for Calcutta. Okay, very simple. There is nothing more to discuss here once you understood the concept of at least and at most, right? Now, let's look at the third question. Okay, so what they're saying in the third question, at least how many cases registered on any day were disposed of after more than 2 days? Okay, see, like what they're saying is at least, so minimum how many cases were disposed of after 2 days. They generally, in a speedy trial, you are saying that the shortest time is 1 day. Now here what they're saying is the cases which were not disposed in 1 day, the cases which were not disposed in 2 days also. So the cases which were not disposed in the first 2 days is what we are looking for. I hope you understood, right? So now let's look here. How you're going to solve this? Just by looking into this, you will get the answer. See, first day 461 cases were registered. Okay, 461 cases were registered, out of which 174 resolved on the very next day. So how much is left out? If you see, 287 cases are left out, right? So 287 cases are left out unresolved. Okay, now 328 cases registered on day 2. Now 221 cases solved on day 3. Now you can take an assumption that this 221 may come from this also. Not a problem. That may be possible. But the best way is, see, this 328, if you see here, this 221 and 107, that will give you 328. So consider like this, these 328 cases were resolved in this 2 days. That's over. That headache is over for you. But still, 287 cases were pending. That may be resolved maybe after 7 days also. That may be referred to the normal court also. So we don't know. But one thing is sure, that 287 cases were not resolved in 2 days. That is for sure. Okay. So 287 cases were not resolved in 2 days. Now, if you take this 156, in the next day again 85 cases are resolved, so balance is 71, right? If you add this, what you're getting, 358. See, this 156 cases, out of which some may be resolved in this day 85, but that is the second day, and after that no cases are going to be resolved from that, right? So what is left out? 71 cases are left out. Now if you see here, 358 cases are not resolved in 2 days. Okay, that means these 358 cases were going to be definitely resolved after 2 days. Now if you look into your options, minimum I am getting 358 and that is not there in your option. 186 definitely no, because minimum I got 358. B 237 definitely no. 326 definitely no. So your answer is none of the above. Okay, so this is your answer. I hope you understood this very easy question. Okay, now let's look at the next one. At most, how many cases registered on day 2 were disposed of on day 5? Okay, see, let's look at the cases which were registered on day 2. So 328 cases. So how many cases which were registered on day 2 were disposed of on day 5, right? Day 5, how many cases disposed of? 85. So out of this 85, what I need to do is, at most how many cases resolved on day 5 of the cases which was registered on day 2, right? So let's see, before that how many cases were resolved. See, this many cases were resolved. Okay, now how many cases were registered in the first day? 461. So 461, what you can do is, where you will get 461. So 461 minus you can do this. What is this? 395. So this 2 day 395 cases were resolved, right? That means how many more left out? 66 more left out. Okay, so 66 more cases have to be resolved from day 1. So this 107 minus 66, if you do, you'll get 41. Okay, what I want to say is, this 461 cases, here we need to maximize, right, at most. So 461 cases were resolved in the first 3 days. But apart from 461, 41 more cases also resolved, right? 461 cases registered on first day, out of which 174, then 221, right? Okay, then 395 is over. 66 is left out. That is resolved in this 107. Then what is balance? 41. Those 41 resolved were definitely from 328. Okay, so out of 328 cases registered on day 2, maximum cases which can be resolved on this till this time is 41. Okay, now on day 5, if you maximize, how many cases were left out? Once you remove this 41 from 328, there will be 287 cases are left out. So 85 cases resolved on day 5. The maximum can be 85 itself. Okay, we can say that all the cases resolved on day 5 are from day 3 only. We can take that, okay, because we need to maximize. But it can be from this 156 also. I'm not saying that is not possible. It can be from 198 also. But since I want to maximize, I am saying that 85 cases which were resolved on day 5 are from day 2. Because there is a possibility for that, right? If you consider the first 3 days, I am resolving only the cases which was registered on day 1 and some of the cases on day 2. Rest of the cases on day 2 itself will contain 287. And day 5, I am resolving only 85, so I am taking that 85 are from day 2 only. When I need to maximize, I maximize 85, right? So I hope this is done for all of you. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so okay friends, take a minute or take 3 minutes and solve this question. Okay, so this is slightly difficult because you need to apply the concept of mixtures allegation here that you have already learned, we have discussed. See, the data interpretation is all about, one is calculation techniques, then percentage, okay, then average. Obviously, when I talk about average, mixtures and allegation will come in average itself, right? So these are the key areas that you need to look into when we solve questions on data interpretation. So take 3 minutes and solve this question. Very easy generally, but compared to the previous question that I have discussed, this is slightly on a higher level because we are increasing the level, okay? So, okay friends, I hope you solved this question and I hope all of you got the answer. See, what they're saying is, the table gives the breakup of percentage of vitamins A, B, C, D contained in 4 vitamin drinks. Okay, so you have 4 vitamin drinks, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 drinks and A, B, C, D are the vitamins, okay. So, what they're given us in drink 1, what percentage of A, B, C, D is there, drink 2, drink 3, drink 4, vitamin A, B, C, D is there. This is what the table given, okay. Now, the cost is also given, drink 1 cost, drink 2 cost. The cost is given. You can see drink 1 is cheap and drink 4 is also cheap. Drink 2 is more expensive. Now what you're going to do is you're going to mix 2 or more drinks, and you can produce a drink, okay, which is containing the vitamins in the required ratio. So if you need to have a vitamins in the particular ratio, you can mix any of the drinks and you can make the drinks. So the cost will vary, depends on that, and obviously the questions will be related to that only. Okay, so mostly the questions will be related to maximum value of particular vitamin or minimum value of particular vitamin, maximum cost, minimum cost. Okay, so these are the questions which are possible from this. So let's look at the first question. What is the least cost per liter of a drink which contain at least 25% of vitamin A? So what I need is I need to minimize the cost, least cost. At the same time, I need vitamin A 25%. So which drink is cheap? See, if you look here, drink 1 and drink 4, they are cheap. Now what you need is you need to know the vitamin A ratio in that, right? What a vitamin A percentage in that. See, drink 1 contain 20, drink 4 contain 40. So definitely if you mix this, I can make 25. Why? Because although drink 1 contain 20, drink 4 contain more than 20, so definitely I can match that difference. But if your drink 1 contain 20 and drink 2 contain 15, I cannot combine this two because I am never going to get 25%. Whatever ratio I am going to mix, I will never get 25%, right? But here, since in one of the drink, vitamin ratio, vitamin percentage is more than what is expected, we can definitely mix these two drinks and we can get required percentage of vitamin at the cheapest cost. Okay, why I'm selecting 1 and 4 is because I am looking for cheap. Okay, so at least cost per liter. Otherwise I can go for any other combination also, right? So anyway, but for A, these are the two best combination. Now if I want maximum A, if cost is not a problem, I will go for this only, drink 4 only. If I need A, because I am getting 40% of vitamin A. But here I need only 25%, and secondly I need to reduce the cost. If the condition is I need to get 25%, I just need to go for this only. There is no need to solve this question. I just take drink 4, I get 25% plus vitamin A, right? But here the condition is cost should be less. I need to have 25%, but the cost should be less. So I'm going to mix 1 and 4. Now, on what ratio I'm going to mix 1 and 4? We know the concept of average, weighted average mixture segregation. We solved it, right? So drink A contain 20%, or drink 1 contain 20% A, drink 4 contain 40% A. What we are supposed to get is 25% A. So you can clearly see on what ratio you need to mix. So you'll get 15 here, you'll get 10 here. Sorry, when you take this difference, 20 and 25, you'll get 5. 40 and 25 will get 15. So you are getting 3:1 ratio. So what you understood is you need to mix this drink 1 and drink 4. In what ratio? Drink 1 should be 3 and drink 4 should be 1. If you mix in this ratio, you'll get 25%. At the same time, you are producing the drink which is having lower cost. Okay. So let's find it out now. What will be the cost? So 3 of drink 1. So 3 into 100, 3 multiplied by 100 because 100 is the cost of drink 1, right? Plus 1 multiplied by 150 because that is the cost of the second drink. 150 divided by 4, 3 plus 1 which is 4. So 300 plus 150, that is 450 divided by 4, you will get your answer, right? So answer for this question is 12.5, right? Because 450 divided by 4 is 112.5, right? So answer for this question is D for Delhi. I hope this is clear for all of you. Now if you move on to the next one, okay, what the question 6 is saying, if a drink which contain at least 20% of each vitamins A, B, C, D is to be prepared, then what would be the least cost per liter? So two condition again, I need 20% of A, B, C, D, okay, so then I need a least cost per liter. I need to minimize the cost and I need to get 20% of each vitamin. So let's look at the drink. See, drink 1 is the cheapest. In that you are getting 20% A, 20% B, definitely 20% D also. Only problem is C. Vitamin C is 10%. Okay. So if the question is about I need to get 20% of A, B, D at cheaper price, I just need to drink one. That's it. I don't want to mix also. But here, since C also need to be 20%, I need to mix some of the drink, right? So which one is best so that the cost will also be less? I can mix 4. So here also I am going to mix 1 and 4. Because you don't want to worry about vitamin A. You can maximize A here or drink 1 here because vitamin A is 20% already there. Vitamin B 30 is there, no problem at all. Vitamin D is also there. I just need to satisfy this. I need to see in what ratio I need to mix 1 and 4 such that I will get C as 20%. Okay, so I don't want to worry about A, I don't want to worry about B, I don't want to worry about D. Definitely it will have more than 20%. On what ratio I am going to mix it. Okay, but still I need to know the ratio in which I am going to mix it. The situation is that I need to get 20% C. Okay, so drink 1 having 10% C, drink 4 having 35% C. What I need is 20% C. So if you take this, when you alligate, you'll get this as 15 and you get this as 10. So clearly you know the ratio is 3:2. So drink 1 should be in the proportion of 3 and drink 4 in 2. Out of 5 liter, if you take 3 liter should be from drink 1, 2 from drink 4, so that 20% C will be there. At the same time, cost is very, very less. Okay, so once you understood this, now the calculation is easy, right? 3 into rate of drink 1, that is 100, plus 2 multiplied by rate of drink 4 divided by 5. So what you get, 300 plus 300 by 5, which is 120, right? So answer for this question is B for Bombay. Very easy answer. Okay, now let's look at the third question. So what they're saying, if a drink which contains 25% of vitamin C is to be prepared at the least cost per liter, then the ratio in which any two drinks has to be mixed. So what I need is, I need 25% of vitamin C. Okay, again I need least cost per liter. And what should be the ratio in which I need to mix two drinks? See, 25% vitamin C is what you need, right? So what drinks I can mix? In fact, the best possible drinks which I can mix is 1 and 4. The reason is 1 and 4 is cheap. Second thing is, since 4 is having more than 25, I can match. Once you mix it, I can mix it in such a way that I will get 25%. Okay, I don't have a problem if this is 10. Okay, because I have a 35% in drink 4. Okay, so let's see how you are going to mix it. I hope you understood why you are mixing 1 and 4, because that is cheap. Secondly, even if I have only 10% in drink 1, I have 35% in drink 4, so I can compromise it. Okay, so let's see how you're going to do this. Okay, so 10 and 35, 10 from drink 1 and 35 in drink 4, and I need in the mixture how much? 25. So let's see what should be the ratio. This is going to be 10 and this is going to be 15, right? So it should be in the ratio 2:3. So answer for this question is C, right? 2:3. And you don't want to know the cost per liter. If you need to find the cost per liter, you'll just multiply, right? So if that is the second case, I need, then one more step is there. So I need a drink which contains 25% vitamin C. In the lowest price, what should be the lowest price? So in that, your intermediate step is this, finding this this ratio. And the last step will be 2 into 2 multiplied by 100, because that is the price of the drink 1, plus 3 into 150, that is the price of drink 2, divided by 5. Okay, so you'll get 200 plus 450, 650 by 5, you'll get the answer 130, right? Now here, let's move on to the next question. I hope you understood this. So what they're saying, now if not more than 2 liters of each drink is available, then what can be the minimum percentage of vitamin B in a drink obtained by mixing 2 or more drinks if the cost per liter of the resulting drink should not exceed 175. So I need to keep it to less than 175. So the best way is to mix 1 and 4, right? Okay, here we are looking for vitamin D, right? No, vitamin B. Okay, so vitamin B means, okay, which two drinks is giving you maximum vitamin? This drink 1 and 2 is giving you maximum vitamin. Okay, so I need to mix 1 and 2, so I'll get maximum. Now since the cost should not exceed 175, that means I should mix in the ratio 1:1. Okay, so I can mix in the ratio 1:1, so the cost will not exceed 175, because if you mix 1:1, that is 100 plus 250, that is 350 divided by 2, that is 175. So that condition is satisfied. Okay, so if you mix 1:1, what is the amount of vitamin? That is going to be 30 plus 40 divided by 2, that is going to be 35%. So I'll get 35%, and what is your answer? Answer is none of these. Okay, so 35% vitamin B you can get, that is the maximum you can get. When you get it, when you mix it 1 and 2, if you mix, you'll get that. And since the condition is it should not exceed 175, it should be in this ratio 1:1. Otherwise, if the cost exceed, I can add more of 2 and I can increase from 35. It will be between 35 and 40. Okay, so I hope you understood. We'll solve more questions in the next session. Okay, so see you guys. And if you have any doubt, you can get back to me. This is my number. Okay, so see you guys.
क्या आप IAS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स को 2.5 लाख तक की फीस नहीं पे करना चाहते? अगर हाँ, तो 22,500 रुपए में घर बैठ के StudyIQ के पेन ड्राइव कोर्स के साथ आप IAS की तैयारी कर सकते हैं। आज ही विजिट करें studyIQ.com।